Hello everyone. Today we will see the lesson the flower. So let us begin the chapter by looking at the different parts of a flower. So we will begin with the stalk which attaches the flower to the shoot or the stem of the plant. So this is known as pedicel, whereas this part that you can see on which all the four whorls of the plant are based, this part is known as the thalamus. Now we know that a typical flower is basically made up of four different whorls, where the first whorl is the sepals. All the sepals together are known as calyx. The sepals are usually green in color and they are leaf-like, whereas in some plants the sepals may be colored. So the function of the calyx is it encloses the bud when the flower, that is when the flower is in the bud state, the calyx is going to give protection to the bud. Then we come to the second whorl, which is the petals. So as we can see over here, the petals are colored. So in most plants, the petals are brightly colored, but not necessarily in all. Depending on the function and the means by which pollination takes place, the petal can be bright or it can be dull and small. So petals perform different functions. They can be brightly colored and they can have a fragrance if they are helping in pollination. They contain nectar glands, again if they are helping in pollination, because insects and birds get attracted towards the flower due to nectar and the fragrance, and of course the bright color. So the petals surround the reproductive parts of the flower and they protect the inner walls or the reproductive parts, and they perform functions of attracting insects and protection. All the petals together are known as corolla. Now we move to the third whorl of the flower, which is the male reproductive part. It consists of two parts, the filament and the anther. So when you look at the anther, inside the anther we have pollen grains. So the function of anther is to produce pollen grains, and the function of the filament is to hold the anther. Now, this whorl is not necessarily present in all flowers. In unisexual flowers, either the male or the female reproductive part is absent. Now we come to, before we move forward, let us see the filament and the anther together. They are known as stamen or they are known as androecium, the male reproductive part. Now we come to the fourth and the innermost whorl, which is the female reproductive part, which is made up of ovary, style and stigma. So we have ovary, style and stigma, which together are known as pistil or carpel and gynoecium. So inside the ovary we have ovules, which later turn into seeds when the flower gets converted to a fruit. So these ovules are produced by the ovary. Now the style is a long narrow tube which is an extension of the ovary, whereas the stigma is the topmost part of the female reproductive part, and it collects pollen grains. Because it is usually sticky in nature, the pollen grains come and stick to the stigma and then it moves towards the ovary. Okay, these are the four main whorls of a flower. Now, based upon the function that each whorl performs, the whorls which take part in fertilization process, they are known as the essential whorls of the flower or the essential parts of a flower. So the androecium and the gynoecium, these are the essential parts of a flower, whereas the calyx and corolla, they do not take part in fertilization directly, hence they are known as accessory or non-essential parts of a flower. Based on the number of whorls which are present in a flower, they are divided into two categories, that is a complete flower and an incomplete flower. A flower which contains all the four whorls is known as a complete flower. Example is China rose or hibiscus and mustard flower. Whereas in some flowers, it is seen that they lack at least one or more whorls and hence they are known as incomplete flower. Example is papaya, mulberry, begonia, etc. So the flowers, depending on the presence of male and female reproductive parts, they are further divided into two categories, where if both male and female reproductive parts are present, then the flower is known as a bisexual flower or hermaphrodite. Whereas if only one of the reproductive part is present, that is either the male reproductive part is present or the female reproductive part is present, then it is known as a unisexual flower.